Frank J. Avella with Awards Daily. Taiwan's international feature Oscar submission is Marry My Dead Body, a unique romantic comedy crime thriller with a queer spin. Directed by Cheng Wei-Hao. Welcome, Cheng.
Hello, everyone. I'm director Cheng Wei-Hao from Taiwan.
Cheng, this is a very unique film in terms of plot, taking the ideas of a ghost marriage and giving it this queer spin. Can you discuss where the initial idea came from and explain a bit about ghost marriage for those who aren't familiar with it?
Okay. Uh, this origin concept came from an essay competition for story summaries. The concept won first prize at that time, and the initial concept story was about a string cleaner who picked up a red envelope and had to marry a gay ghost. And I thought the idea had a great comedic potential. And for the longest time, I had wanted to work on a comedy project. So I found another writer to co-create the screenplay.
How did that work? Because I noticed that there were a number of screenwriters credited. Can you tell me a little bit about the process of writing the screenplay?
Okay, I need David's help to
Sure.
translate. Yeah.
这说在写剧本的过程中，因为这次有不止一个的作家 writer，那你们是怎么去合作的？
OK，这个可能要麻烦你了。
好，
我主要找另外一位作家，他是很擅长那个喜剧的，然后他在对白上面尤其很厉害，所以其实那时候就特别找他来针对对白的部分，然后我主要是负责这个故事整个故事的一个结构。
Okay. Okay. So for the writing, actually this time I find a writer who's really good at comedy, and she's going to be in charge for most of the dialogue in the film. As for me, I'm more like for the plot and for the whole story. So this is how we work with each other.
Interesting. Well, the film blends many genres, suspense, thriller, romantic comedy. Can you speak a little bit about tackling all these genres? Because I know that crime and suspense films are normally in your wheelhouse, but not necessarily comedy.
OK，这边的话问的是说，这一次这部片它就是有点把各种类型片混杂在一起，不只有类似悬疑，它同时间也是有喜剧的部分。那因为悬疑的话，导演之前就已经有类似相关的作品，那么是怎么就是将喜剧啊这些其他元素融合进去的？
Okay. When writing the script, I started to add mixed genre elements, including changing the main character from a street cleaner to a detective so that the criminal cases could be involved in the story. And because the other main character is a ghost, I decided to enlarge some supernatural elements to the script. And in the beginning, everyone worried about mixing too many genres. But my approach is that if we split all movie stories into foreground stories and the background stories, we are always familiar with the foreground story. We will say that it's a crime, it's a thriller kind of. When people describe a movie, they usually describe it based on the foreground story because it's easier to define the main atmosphere on the surface of the movie. But in fact, I kept reminding my cast and the crew we should pay more attention on the background story of the movie. The movie actually is a road movie and a romance about these two guys. We will follow the movie flow by experiencing the mutual help and the growth arc of the two guys. And the story is driven by the two main characters. So mastering the background story is the key to mixing all genres. And this might be the key reason why the whole movie will not be scattered in different genres.
Right, and it works so well. Truly. So Ming Han, the main character, is a policeman. He's afraid of ghosts. He's afraid of gays. Call him homophobic if you want. I wouldn't go that far. And he has quite the journey in the film towards accepting both, which you don't find very often.
这边说的是明翰这个角色，他就可以说是已经有点恐同了，然后以及还有是这个警探什么，他说很少有见到可以把这两个这样子的元素去把融合这么好的这样一个角色。
对，这一次其实主要就是想要创造一个，因为有冥婚跟婚姻有关，然后就是想要特意的创造一个比较二元对立的一个角色的一个状态，所以一个是一个比较阳刚男性的一个 straight，跟一个就是 gay guy，他们不得不冥婚，然后去制造更多的，是为了去制造更多的这个喜剧冲突。
Okay, so we're talking about like creating the character Ming Han, because this time we involve ghost marriage in this element into our story. So we want to create this great conflict. That's why we designed like Ming Han is the straight guy, and Mao Mao, the other character, is a gay ghost to create this major conflict.
I know that LGBTQ rights are pretty progressive in Taiwan, and the country's made quite a number of gay-themed films. I'm curious, was there any backlash about having gay themes prominent in your film?
就是这部片，因为那个台湾我们这个区域在亚洲算是 LGBTQ 这样的议题比较盛行的一个地方。那么在这部片发行之后呢，有没有获得任何的有点像是比较冲突啊，或是一些就是攻击这部片的这种言论出现呢？
没有，因为这部片刚好是在台湾同志婚姻法通过之后上的，然后它体现了蛮多，它 present 了蛮多的这种就是 gay marriage 的一些就是 value 在里面，然后所以其实反而绝大多数都是得到很多正面的回应。
Okay. For the film, we actually don't receive a lot of backslash. I would say we don't receive any backslash because when we creating this film, it's actually the same year where same-sex marriage got legalized in Taiwan. And in the film, we presented out a lot of the like authentic values about the same-sex marriage. So we actually didn't receive any of those.
I love that the grandmother character is the most progressive in the film. That makes quite a comment.
我觉得奶奶这个角色，她反而是就是这整部片里面是一个可以说是她更开放、更为接受的角色，这让她觉得很惊讶，然后觉得设计很棒。
对，这确实是一个很特意的一个设计，是因为其实我们就是想要展现，其实在因为现在还是很多的同志朋友，其实现在要面临一些原生家庭的一些压力，来自于他们同志的身份，所以其实会想要特意，但也开始看到更多就是我们的上一代其实愿意接受儿子或者是孙子其实有同志的这个身份，所以我们想要把比较这个算是比较乐观或者是比较正向的这一块透过这个电影给呈现出来。
Okay, we're talking about how we designed the grandma in this film. So a lot of the family in Taiwan, like let's say the last generation, like our parents, some of them are still like how do I put it? Some of them are still kind of like they're afraid of talking about this, but still more and more of them are willing to open to start to discuss this topic and to starting to accept their grandson or their son, their daughters might be homosexual. So that's why we kind of designed Grandma, this character, we put in there to be like the one who's actually starting to accept all this.
Can you speak a little bit, Cheng, about casting your two leads, Greg and Austin?
Okay, I can answer it myself in English. I prepared it. The most important thing is that they are very famous actors in Asia. And as a director, I always pay long-term attention to the actors' performances. So in addition to their these two guys' memorable good looks, the key is that their acting skills are very convincing. And I noticed Greg Shi before he acted in Sunday or One Day, which became a hit all over Asia. The roles he took on in dramas were all very diverse and even very eccentric ones, such as weird or creepy characters. The same for Austin. Both of them were able to play all kinds of roles with ease, which means that they both have the courage to take on the challenge of any kinds of roles and have the good acting stability. And okay, it's a commercial film. It needed a famous cast in Asia as a box office attraction. So I offered them the roles while the first draft was completed. And they quickly agreed because they liked the characters and the story very much.
That's nice to hear. So this film was a huge success at the Taiwan box office and on Netflix actually here in our country. Why do you think the film is such a hit with audiences?
Sorry, I answered it in Chinese.
Sure.
我觉得关键是因为这部电影其实达到了两个事情，一个是它有做到类型电影，就是 genre，然后它还有一个就是它有一个情感，尤其是在亲情的部分。然后这两个东西其实我觉得是可以跨文化，然后跨国际的。所以其实我觉得最大的共鸣的点，可能就是来自于这两个元素的一个比较这部电影来自于这两个比较充分的元素的使用，这样子。
Okay, so I think it's such a we made a great success because we achieved like 2 points. The first thing is we successfully make it into a genre film, and second is that we focus a lot of like on the emotional side, like the relationship between father and the son, and even the relationship between the two guys. For genre and this kind of relationship, I think it's definitely very universal. So no matter which place you're from, which culture background you have, this can translate into it, and the audience can definitely feel it and are easier for them to accept.
I'm curious about the title, Marry My Dead Body. Was it always called that? And does that translate directly?
中文的 Chinese title 是就是一个人和一个鬼变成家人的这件事。可以先帮我翻这个。
没问题。So the Chinese title, if you translate directly, it's actually a guy and a ghost becomes a family. The story about a guy and a ghost becomes a family.
Wow.
This is the first part. Okay.
然后后来因为想要去 emphasize 就是 marriage 这件事情，然后因为这是这个故事的主轴之一，然后再加上就是想让它那个喜剧的质感也可以很快的透过 title 就可以让大家意识到，所以英文翻译后来就决定用这样子的一个片名。
Later on, we kind of want to emphasize marriage more in the title, and we want to make it a bit more comedic. That's why eventually it becomes Marry My Dead Body.
I think it's a fun title. I love the central relationship between these two men. It is ultimately like a marriage between the two of them. I'm curious, was there ever any talk about taking, I mean, I know one character is a ghost, but was there ever any talk about connecting them even further, like with a kiss or something like that? Just a curious question.
就在发展的过程中，剧本发展过程中有没有在某个阶段是想说，让他们两个角色的关系更升华一步，甚至就是会有可能亲吻类似的戏出现呢？
嗯，其实没有，因为我们主要就是希望让观众感受到的是，应该是说，其实希望让观众去想象他们可能有那一种就是爱情的空间，可是更重要的其实是我们希望让观众感受到是属于两个人从友情，然后一路升华到亲情的这个整个过程，然后更重要就是他们后来怎么互相理解彼此，然后怎么一起成长。
嗯，OK，嗯，during the writing process, we actually didn't kind of want them to go to the stage where they will kiss, but we leave like the space for the audience to kind of imagine that might happen. But we're more focused on how you can see these two guys. They start from like friends, and their friendship sort of grow into like almost feel like two of them are family. So we're more focusing on this kind of relationship instead of the romance.
Um, I want to ask, can you tell us a little about the Taiwanese film industry and how it's evolved, and also, for Westerners that aren't, super familiar and see Asia as just one place, can you speak a little bit about where it falls, in terms of also the films playing in China that are made in Taiwan and things like that?
就是说，对于台湾电影的整个产业啊，然后在这几年间的变化，伟豪这边有没有什么可以跟就是西方这边可以分享的？就是像有什么不一样啊，以及它是怎么进展的？
嗯，台湾其实这几年可能不到10年的时间，开始出现越来越多的 genre，然后可能主轴会是 horror 跟 thriller 为主，然后甚至也越来越多的 crime 这种属于比较小成本高娱乐的。然后台湾还持续的在探索更多的类型电影的可能性。因为台湾在类型电影这一块，因为可能产业还不够，整个还不够健全，所以其实在发展这件事类型的电影这件事情上面，其实相对其他地区是比较缓慢的。可能先翻到这边。
OK，it's only in this 10 years we started to see the rise of genre films in Taiwan. Mostly it's going to be a horror, thriller, and right now you see more and more crime movies are being made in Taiwan. Because before the whole industry isn't that complete, and that's why we didn't see that many genre films before.
对，但是因为现在已经还是比以前越来越多，就是类型电影的出现，然后我们等于台湾的整个电影的产业开始从过去可能譬如说侯孝贤或者是杨德昌他们这样新电影，然后开始越来越多的类型电影，我觉得是一个蛮乐观跟正向的一个方向。
Because before it was, I would definitely say there were more like art films by several like huge directors back then, but now it started to shift. More and more genre films are appearing.
I want to mention one of those art film directors, which is Ang Lee. Uh,
Yeah.
Currently, the only Taiwanese filmmaker to have received Oscar nominations in the international feature category, and he won for Crouching Tiger. I'm curious. Were you surprised that this film was selected, and what would being nominated mean to you?
Okay, I can answer it myself in English. Regarding awards, I always try to manage my expectations, but I also have a certain amount of confidence with this movie because the movie covers many social issues, and but it is packaged as a genre film, which uses comedy to discuss more serious topics. So the most important thing is that the thing that many art films also talk about, that is love. Yeah. So I have some, as I mentioned, I have a certain amount of confidence with this movie.
Amazing. And Cheng, could you tell me what you're working on now?
Oh, okay. I am writing a suspense. The movie is adapted from a Chinese novel. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Okay. And you're just in the writing process right now with that?
Yes.
Okay, well, I want to thank you for taking the time out. I congratulate you because I think it's such an entertaining film, and I really appreciated the blend. I thought you mastered it. So congratulations, and good luck to you. I look forward to seeing what you do next.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.